I got a video coming out, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, where I'm going to talk about what's going on down in Orlando. And like most of my videos, my opinion, my take on it is going to come from out of nowhere, come from out of left field, but after you hear it, you'll realize it was right in front of your face the whole time. You'll say, how did I not see that? It's unfortunate events taking place down there, but we'll get to that. We'll address it in the next video. For today, the reason I wanted to do this was because I didn't want this entangled with the next segment, the next blog. So where I usually have, as I've explained in other videos, I usually have my buddy Nick or Joe record for me because I have no cell phone, I have no recording devices of any kind, so I'm relying on other people to help me with this. Today, I have my friend Chrissy here filming. I asked her if I could do this quick video, although for me quick could still end up being 15 minutes, but I just want to rip one up quick today and didn't want it to be in the same segment, as I said, with the Orlando video, which I'm going to hopefully do within the next couple weeks. So this is going to be separate, and reason I was kind of in a rush to do it was because it's happening in the news right now, and it's relevant to America, which is, as most of you know by now, the situation going on in England, with them leaving the European Union. So the reason I want to talk about it is, well, first of all, let me just quick background. I've been over to England 3 times. Every time it was never for vacationing or anything like that, or traveling or exploring. It was while touring, doing speaking tours. That's how I found myself there all 3 times. Actually, England was the first foreign country I ever spoke in. And I've covered a lot of ground over there. I've been to London, Manchester, Liverpool, let me think where else. Been up to Scotland. I'd like to think after going 3 times it'd give me some insight to what's going on right now. But of course, I don't live there, so my opinion is limited. However, I did spend a good portion of today talking to a lot of my friends over there, getting their opinion on all this and getting my opinion. And normally I wouldn't, or giving them my opinion. Normally, I wouldn't make such a big deal out of something like this, because I do think for Americans, it's sort of a non-issue, except for the fact that you cannot help but notice, and it's been pointed out. I'm not the only one to say this. A lot of other people have already beat me to the punch, but you cannot help notice the parallels between what happened in England and the popularity of Donald Trump. And people have already pointed this out. Now, just a few things I want to say. Back to America for a minute. Get with England in a second. I've said before that the thing with Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump, there's actually 2 Donald Trumps here. Bernie Sanders is the other one. Okay? There's parallels between those 2 as well. Meaning that this was a good year in politics. Even if you don't like Donald Trump, I don't, I'm not voting for him. I'm not voting for Hillary either. I will be writing in someone's name, or maybe I'll vote for Gary Johnson, or I always write in names, or vote for a third-party candidate. I don't vote for the 2 main parties. I just don't. It's another story. regardless of what you think of Donald and Bernie, and And I don't like Donald. Just my main thing with him, I don't think he's racist. I think he says a lot of dumb stuff. I don't like the way he talks about women. You know, the pig comments and talking about their looks and this and that. I think one of the things with Donald is, and I'm not excusing his behavior, but he is a victim of the alpha male syndrome, which I've talked about in other videos. I don't completely blame him. I'm sure a lot of how he talks is how he was raised. It doesn't make it all right, and of course, that type of behavior just gets under my skin. I've addressed it in many other videos, so you guys know I'm not okay with that. So clearly, I'm not defending it, but whether it be Donald or Bernie, the thing is that both guys did something amazing this year, which is they both exposed their respective parties for what they are. Republicans don't like Donald Trump. There are Democrats that don't like Bernie. And the other thing that happened was, and you're seeing it more and more, and it happened with Ron Paul. These people that before you'd have a Ross Perot or a Ralph Nader that would have to run as an alternative party, now what's happening is the third party people are getting more and more mainstream attention. They're becoming more successful over the years. So now you've got, what's happening is the alternative, the outside guys, the third party guys, they're running as Democrats or Republicans. And so now they're infiltrating, is what's happening. Where before there'd be a third vote, the two main parties and then these guys on the side. Now they're saying, man, we got a chance. We're going to go in as Democrats or Republicans. Donald could have run as a Democrat or a Republican, easily. And it's a good thing, but the problem is, still, at the end of the day, America, with this obsession, this undying insistence on a two-party system, has done this to themselves. I see people in other countries saying things like, people I've talked to saying, how could you guys vote for Trump? How is he getting so popular? I see people saying things, saying, well, Hillary's a criminal. Hillary and her emails and this and that, and she's part of the Clinton dynasty. What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do? It's a two-party system. These are your two choices. There's nothing we can do about it. This is what the country has, as I said, has insisted on. Yes, we did it to ourselves, but right now, until it changes, and you are seeing people starting to get sick of the two-party system, but until it changes, this is what we have. So America kind of did this to themselves. I blame the people. Again, I always blame the people, not the government. And to the people outside and from foreign countries who can't understand what's going on in America or why would these two people in either case rise to such popularity. And I say it to the Americans too. Every American thinks that the guy they're voting for is on the righteous side and the other side is the bad side. Democrats think their guy's the guy. Republicans think that their guy is the guy. Or the Democrats think their girl is the girl if they voted for Hillary as opposed to Bernie. Doesn't matter. It's a two-party system. You can't win. This is what you have right now. This is what this country is built. So you got to have one side or the other. And no matter, when you only have two choices, you're probably voting for someone you don't completely agree with. As I've said before, there are going to be Democrats voting for Trump just to spite Hillary. There are going to be Bernie Sanders supporters voting for Donald Trump just to avenge what happened to Bernie or to get revenge on Hillary. You're going to see a lot of that going on. Now, how does this relate to England? Even myself, as most people, was baffled that this happened, that they're going to leave. The reason why is because England has become very liberal over the past few decades. And the belief that they should stay in the European Union tends to be a liberal belief. And the conservative side, in my opinion, tends to think that they need to be out. It does seem kind of like a right-wing versus left-wing thing. I'm not saying that's the case with every single person, but from my perception, from what I've seen, that's kind of how people view it. Now, It's the same thing in America. People really don't, people are amazed that Trump's doing as good as he can. And there's a lot of people that are saying there's no way he can win. But he might win. What happened in England is the equivalent of Donald Trump winning in this country. It is possible. A lot of people think that what's going on in America has rubbed off on the British. Now, I wanted this to be a quick video, so I'm going to kind of give the conclusion right here, right now. I'm going to wrap this up and explain to you all, how did this happen in England? How is Donald Trump getting so popular in America? There's one reason why. Now, as I've said, I'm neither right-wing nor left-wing. I don't support either party. But I can step back and kind of tell you what's going on here. I've talked before with my personal experiences. I have a lot of core left-wing beliefs. I'm an animal rights activist. I'm an environmentalist. I'm disgusted with the rape culture, the way, the Donald Trump type speech against women. I'm disgusted with all that. However, not all my beliefs are in line with the left wing. Because of that, I am constantly verbally attacked by left-wing people, whether it be on the internet, or they want to get in my face and debate with me, or make flyers about me, whatever means of mode they choose to protest against me. And it's because I'm not 100% with them. They can't kind of meet me in the middle and say, all right, he's got some good left-wing beliefs, he's an animal rights activist, he's an environmentalist, etc., etc. Let's at least agree and work together on these issues. No. It's, you like Ron Paul, well, get out of my face. It's, point being is this. There's a backlash right now. And I warned all you left-wing people that this was going to happen. I just made a video about the gay activists giving Charlie Baker the middle finger at an event where he was speaking. And I pointed out, here you had a conservative whose brother is gay, who supports gay marriage. That wasn't good enough for you guys. You went nuts on him. As I've said for decades, the oppressed will become the oppressor. I warned all of you, and it's happening right now. What has happened is this. There have been some very extreme left-wing people with some great ideas. I don't mind people being far left. They've brought a lot of great ideas to the table. They've talked about inequality in the country. They've talked about equality for animals and the environment and all this other great things. And they brought it to the mainstream. But now that they've got the mainstream attention, now that they're here, now that people can see these ideas and that people are being exposed to them who normally never would be exposed to them, now the left wing is doing what historically has happened throughout history, and I warned what would happen. Now that they're in a position of power, where they've got some leverage, now people are getting sick of it. They're getting in people's faces, shoving it down people's faces, judging people, even though they don't think they're capable of judging people. No way, not me. I'm a left-wing liberal. I don't judge anybody. Yes, you are. You're judging anyone who doesn't agree with you. I've had it happen to me. And people are getting sick of it. And there's a backlash right now. I have said that people are going to vote for Donald because they're sick. They're just sick of hearing left-wing people complain about him. And I've also said that making stuff up, Donald Trump does a lot of dumb stuff. You don't need to make up things on top of it. What he says gets himself in enough trouble. But the fact that there's a lot of left-wing institutions that are going out of their way to just make up stuff about him, it's helping him when you do this. And I warned you all about this. The left wing is going to put him in office. I warned about it, and I'm right. Now, even if he doesn't win, if he doesn't become the president, he's going to get pretty damn close. Now, how does this relate to England? Well, it's pretty obvious. I believe a lot of people rose up, and people who maybe are not completely comfortable with how far to the left England has gone, has had an effect. It's had an effect, and there are a lot more people. In other words, I really believe there are people in England who maybe didn't care if they stayed in the European Union, but they voted to get out just because they're sick of protesters. They're sick of liberalism. Now, again, I have nothing against liberalism. I have a lot of left-wing ideas, as I already said. But, I'm seeing things today, and people are putting things on the internet that it's like, oh, everyone who wanted to leave the Union is racist, and they're a bigot, and this is... How can you tell me that millions of people that want to stay, they're all racist? They're all bigots? Come on. You really believe that? I mean, it was like almost split down. It's just like the right wing and left wing here. It's like half the country wants to stay, half wants to leave. So you're telling me half the people in England are racist? Come on. That's insane. I don't believe that. I believe there's more to it. And just calling people racist, assuming everyone's a racist because of the political belief, it's nuts. Now, they say Scotland has chosen to stay in. I'm not completely sure. I heard Northern Ireland wants to get back with Ireland now. I've heard so much stuff right now that could happen in the wake of this. I don't know what's going on with Wales. Do they vote separately? My understanding was that Wales is a separate country. If it's not, my apologies. How did Northern Ireland vote? Did they get to vote separately? I've only heard about Scotland and England, so I don't know. We'll see how this plays out, but let this be a warning. I think the people who are protesting Donald need to put the brakes on a little bit, because you guys are going to be the ones that get him in office. He's got a real good chance of winning. And it's just, it's a great social experiment. I hope people learn from this. I will have another video coming out soon, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. We'll discuss Orlando. But for now, that's all I got for tonight. Thanks for checking it out. And go on my channel, check out some of the other videos. I have another YouTube channel. Look in the related videos. Some of the videos might come up. You can find them if you look intensely enough. But there is another channel. You can probably look up the Outlook and search channels. They're both this Outlook 1, Outlook 2. I forget how we set it up. They've been up so damn long. But they're out there. They're not hard to find. So that's it for today, or tonight I should say. Night video. And that's it. See you next time. Thank you.